Good afternoon, everyone. I am so privileged that I am able to do this, even though, I'm not there physically. Evan Young, better known as Perry, Uncle Perry, Young Boy, was born on May 24th, 1939, to Rachel Gordon and Simon Young. Growing up for him, as he mentioned, was very challenging. I quite frankly remembered he telling me they slept on the bare ground at times, going to school barefooted. He enlightened that back then, if you owned a fiberglass mattress, you were considered rich. In his childhood days, he grew up in dentistries, known to many as in the back of Happy Hill. Mind you, grown as I am, I'm still looking for the hills. He grew up with his parents and siblings. Then they later moved to Perry Young Indian Walk. Yes, an entire street named after him. Not him, but his great-grandfather's name was Perry. Because of their identical looks, they started calling my grandfather such. The street was named after his grandfather as a form of settlement. So, a win is a win. He got his uncle looks, he got his name, and as well as an entire street as well. Growing up in my own thoughts, I thought that this street was only occupied by the Young family. Sports he enjoyed, cricket in particular. He being very much grown when I was born meant not being able to witness much of the outdoor activities he may have been involved in. I've always heard that he was the best left-handed spin bowler to pass through Basti, maybe even Maruga. He was of great quality, so much that he qualified for the national team. Because of the challenging, impoverished lifestyle, it was quite difficult to travel to Port of Spain and back. He missed that opportunity, but it did not hamper his talent, because it did not go unseen. He was always well spoken of. At the age of 35, he embraced his fatherhood journey with his first daughter, Alison. Not long after, he met the love of his life, my God-fearing, strong, devoted, beautiful grandmother, June Maskell Young. He knew he had the prize, so he locked it in. I remember my grandmother saying she told him marriage first, and guess what? That man did not hesitate. This year makes it 50 years of their union. God bless. With that great move, he started his family journey with his wife and her 3 kids, Donna, Dawn, and Daisy. At age 37, within their marriage, they had their first daughter, Dionysa, my mother. Then follows Dari at age 39 and Doan at age 42. He became a grandfather at age 55. Who made him a grandfather? He became a grandfather at age 55, with me being the first. His grandchildren all loved him uniquely, from Dwayne, we know as Son. From Dwayne, we know as Son, always had him busy. Imagine the man trying to take a rest, and Son saw it fit to try and throw water in his mouth, or even use a feather and tickle his ear. This same Son is the one that Uncle Perry and Mammy June needed to leave space in their bed for him to be tucked in. He only playing big man now. Dylan, Delise, and Devin always showered him with affection of physical touch. They always greeted him with a big hug. Danica and Danica were the ones with thoughtful gestures. What happened, Uncle Perry? You good? What going on? Dahlia Damari Dante were the ones who got caught up listening to stories, which I'm sure they did not even understand much. Dane Donnell tested his patience because he had a fear of anyone sitting on our banister, and it was their favorite seat. Well, boy, Trayshawn, Fat Boy, as he called them, Peter and Dovon, both called Young Boy, were his go-to. Anything he wanted, he would have called out for them. Even supported his family through employment at Drainage, where he retired as a supervisor. He so loved and was dedicated to his job, that even weeks before his passing, in and out of thoughts, he used to mention he needed to go and check on his workers on the riverbank. He was a peacemaker, never liked drama, bacchanal, or loud noise. I would like to believe he had a side that we, or at least me, I never got to see, because as miserable as our cousin Coco is, if you had only mentioned Uncle Perry, he would cross his T's, dot his I's, get straight as a pin, and at times he would not even hold a beer bottle if Uncle Perry was around. He respected that man dearly. One thing he did not need to do was call him by name. Just knock a pack of cards on the table, and you would see him coming. He would have played Romy for hours with Mammy June, Nellie, Dari, Doan, Peter, and Uncle Boise. They would just sit there like it's a tournament. When that was over, he would have sometimes sit by himself and play patience. Loved Christmas profoundly. Christmas evenings around 6, he would have gotten ready, picked up his iron, and embarked on his one-man parang band journey. He made his stops by Standpipe, Tante Eva, and Auntie Elaine, all deceased now. That left-handed man could have played an iron and pan too well. Love doesn't do justice. He had a great fondness for sponge cake. You would have given him a slice of cake, and if someone else passed and asked him if he got cake, he would have responded by saying, "They give me a little thing, but if you have more to give me, thanks." He never at no time forgot to say thank you. For the smallest thing as telling him the time, he would say, "Thank you, thanks." As I mentioned time, he was a mathematician, great with numbers. While he was struggling or trying to calculate figures, he would have done it mentally. He remembered license plate numbers and phone numbers off the bat. He was a neat man with a sweet tooth. Any snack or candy wrappings he would fold neatly and stick in his pocket. He did the same with money. That's why he never misplaced any. Even had a love-scare relationship with hunting. He enjoyed and loved going to the bush. But by the time the sun goes down and it was about to get dark, he would ensure that he was back at camp. Not just at camp, but comfortable in his bunk, covered head to toes. Same with the rain. It could be what event, it could be where. Once it started raining, he would not even think twice. Straight home. I'm glad it did not rain on his wedding day. He was a great listener. At times when we got projects or anyone at home was feeling ill and needed anything from the bush, you would have quietly seen him putting on his boots, blue coverall, sticking a small bottle of water in his pocket, blade in his hand, hat on his head, he not leaving home without a hat, and his tiny body becoming smaller as he made his way into the bushes. A little while later, he would surely return with whatever we may have mentioned that we needed earlier. He was very, very, very helpful and willing. So willing that even when he started losing his eyesight, he did not mention anything and was trying to go about his days as usual. He got up every morning, fed his birds, and was quite contented and comfortable. There was this thing he did with his cup, or even bottle, whatever he was drinking from. He would shake his hand in a circular motion, whether there was ice or not. I've seen it so many times that I myself started doing it when I'm drinking. What more can we say? We are sad, deeply sad, but we are also glad. Glad for the fact that he lived. He lived 86 of the very best, and we are thankful for the time God loaned him to us. All his memories will be forever cherished, his legacy instilled in us. Because of my grandfather, I can stand proudly, and say, I'll forever be young. Rest in peace, Ivan Young. We love you. Thank you.